now week 4 of Crocktober. There's actually one more Wednesday, so I'm going to do 5 weeks of it. As I'm filming, my birthday was yesterday. Unfortunately, I am in my last year of my 30s. So I may not be around much longer. Anyway, for my birthday, I usually make myself enchiladas. And so this is a crockpot version. Alright, the first step is to brown the meat. And it calls for lean ground beef. This is a longhorn that we had processed, so it's very lean. But you don't want your crockpot, swimming in grease. And now I'm going to use half a packet of taco seasoning, which is 1 tablespoon of the homemade. I did decide to use my big crock pot. And now this is kind of dump and go. These are my onions from the garden, a little froze together. We need half of a diced onion. Probably gonna shorten that. Okay, that's probably good. A jar of diced green chilies. These are chilies that we roasted ourselves and put in bags, and I can't waste them, so it's gonna be the whole thing. Okay, just nobody ever died from too many green chilies. This is a can of reefers here that's getting a little old, so I need to use it, but it needs to be drained and rinsed, so that might be weird. I also found the bay leaf just then. In with the enchilada sauce. And I'll get another can while I'm out. You know what? I mean, that looks like enough sauce anyway, but I'm gonna get another one. Oh, it smells good. Okay, so I'm gonna set this for 4 hours, and then it'll go to keep warm after those 4 hours, and then we'll finish this 30 minutes before I eat. Okay. Back from the farm. This is what it's looking like. The whole recipe wanted a can of 28 ounces of enchilada sauce, and I put in 16. And then here we go with 10 more. So 26 ounces, that's pretty close. So I think once the tortillas go in here, it'll really need that extra moisture from all that enchilada sauce, because it'll soak it up some. Speaking of tortillas, you're supposed to use 10 6-inch round tortillas. These are the street taco ones, and I don't ever use flour, because that is just... it's just a sin. I don't agree with that at all. Anyway, tear those up. And then half of the cheese. The whole amount is 1.5 cups, so this is going to be my 3/4 cup of shredded cheese. I'm just using Colby Jack. You can go fancy if you want it. And stir that in. Should have separated all those tortillas better. And then on the top, you're supposed to add the rest. I don't know if I'm going to actually just leave it on the top, or if I'm going to end up stirring in. I mean, when you serve it, it's going to get mixed in anyway. We'll see. And another 3/4 cup of cheese for the top. See, this isn't even how an enchilada would go. You would have the cheese on top, yeah, but everything is covered in the sauce. Anyway, put the lid on and cook it for 30 minutes on high. Okay, 30 minutes has elapsed. As I suspected, I will probably stir that in. And I'm gonna serve this up and get to the 31 nights of Halloween. I ended up stirring it all up and garnished it with more cheese, and it was so good. My camera sometimes refuses to import into my computer, so you missed a chicken breast being cut into bite-sized pieces. I'm also having this recipe, and then I put the chicken in a Ziploc bag. Alright, to this bag, we're gonna add half a teaspoon of salt and pepper, so actually like a 1/4 teaspoon of each, but I'm just gonna do that right there. I can always add it when I'm eating it, but since this is gonna be orange chicken, I probably don't need all of that. And then with any Asian dish, you need cornstarch. So this is 1/6 of a cup of cornstarch. And then we're gonna put it in this bag and move it around. I've got this crock pot on high because this is only gonna cook for 2 hours. And you need like a tablespoon of olive oil in the bottom. And then you add your chicken from the bag into the crock pot. It says carefully, but I haven't had my shower yet, so I'm not going to be too careful. Okay. Next, we're going to put in half a cup of orange marmalade. This was on sale. I don't know why I thought that was going to go. Half a cup of orange marmalade. This was on sale, so I got the, Smuckers. Yeah, like I was saying before, I haven't had my shower yet, so my whole routine is thrown off because I'm trying to get this cooking before I go in the shower, so sometimes I get a little antsy. Then we add 1/8 of a cup of low sodium soy sauce. For the ginger, it's at 1/2 to 1 teaspoon of ground ginger. So I'm just gonna go like almost half, like 3, that much. Not quite a 1/2 teaspoon of ground ginger. 1/2 teaspoon of sesame. Oh. Okay. And then 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder, but I just kind of got that dirty, so I'm just gonna that'll do. Okay, all the other ingredients are garnished, so we'll do that after my shower. I love the mushrooms at Chinese buffets, so I'm gonna try to recreate that. Okay, and just pour that puppy over that. And I better get these puppies fed before I shower, because they will murder me in my sleep. This can go on low, but I'm going to cook this on high for 2 hours. I forgot the rice wine vinegar. So 1/2 tablespoon. And I'm just going to, hopefully that gets distributed. Okay, it's supposed to check it at 90 minutes. If you're cooking it for 2 hours on low. I'm just gonna go ahead and stir. Alright, hopefully the rice turns out good. I read that you could put cabbage in the top, and I didn't want to buy like a whole cabbage head, so I just bought a coleslaw mix. Oh, steam is hot. Alright, and I turned off. No, I didn't. I turned it to low. Here's my orange chicken. Let's see how this is. The orange chicken was pretty good. I would use dark meat like the restaurants do. The mushrooms, meh. And the cabbage inside the rice, no thanks. If you like this video, feel free to subscribe. I upload some Wednesdays and all Sundays, and you can keep watching us grow our farm. Have a good one.